begin. That's okay, though. A mini cast can be of very high value because we can just do whatever little bullshit we want, and then we just leave.
Just put Oakheart in the title and then everyone will be happy.
I should. That's actually good marketing. Except for Oakheart. There we go. Biggity.
But, oh my god.
So
Yeah,
how's...
everyone...
Yes.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just asking how's everyone doing this fine, chill Sunday?
I'm alive, I'm just at work.
Oh, exhausted. Busiest time of year.
Oh, yeah, do you work like someplace where holiday really matters?
I work 2 jobs in a theater, so I'm pulling like 50, 60-hour weeks this season.
That's awful.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yep. Still, wouldn't have it any other way.
It is kind of nice to work in a theater. It's kind of magical.
Seeing the same show twice a day over and over and over and over again for 6 weeks straight.
Okay, so you run projector booth then?
No, it's a proper theater, the Opera House.
Oh, sorry. I yeah. That's interesting still.
Oh, it is indeed.
What are you, like an usher or just ticket taker?
I work in the box office. I'm an usher. I'm a barman. I do whatever's needed. I'm occasionally a tour guide.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
We have like 11 people watching. Yeah.
hello, 11 people.
We have an interesting bunch this week, everyone. So please ask away any questions you've been holding on to. This podcast originally, as of 12 hours ago, was going to be James Vermont and myself fighting about the new Star Wars movie, but then he decided, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed because he knows I'm right. So...
Right about what? That it was a pointless hype?
Say again?
That you were right about what? It being a hopeless hype or a wasted hype?
Well, we'll get into it the next time he's on, but my opinion is that it's one of the worst, and his opinion is that it's work of art, which is a wrong opinion.
Okay, and here's my input. 1, I don't really care. 2, I'm too tired to care. And 3, why was there a hype in the first place?
You should care. The UK saved Star Wars. It was the American studios that shunned George Lucas, which is why he went to Pinewood, and why all the actors are hence English.
Wait, what?
Of the original movie, way back in the day. And then what was even better about the original movies was how, they cast Sir Alec Guinness, and he fucking hated Star Wars. He hated the nerds, the fans that exploded and grew out of it. He hated the fact that became his most known role rather than his high Shakespearean works in the past. He essentially did it for a paycheck, but everyone that's all people know him from.
And he made a fortune out of it.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was smart enough to get royalty percentages rather than
percentage of all the profits the franchise ever made.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You think he would have I guess he was later in life and art and stuff, but it's you touch so many people with your character. So that's why for me Obi-Wan is still Ewan McGregor because he was Obi-Wan. He loved it, he cared for it, and I don't know why Disney hasn't set up a movie for him yet. That would be perfect.
I think I heard a rumor somewhere that they were planning.
I want my live-action Obi-Wan and Satine movie right now.
Yeah, because there's this whole big block of time between the end of the 3rd movie and the start of the 4th, where Obi-Wan could be off having old man adventures.
Playing shuffleboard on Tatooine.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential there. But yeah, so
Yeah, I
holiday
think that.
season, does that mean is it Nutcracker in the Opera House just nonstop?
Peter Pan.
Oh, really?
Yes, the yearly pantomime, which changes every year.
Pantomime.
Uh,
That's fun, I guess.
oh, it is indeed. I
The
mean,
first time.
our local dame is one of the most famous, so he always steals the show.
Nice.
May McFetridge been doing the same thing for over 28 years.
It's just become like routine now.
Absolutely. Earns a fortune from it. I mean, he only has to work 1 or 2 shows a year.
That's what matters.
At least I'm not alone in working on Christmas.
Cool.
No, not at all. No rest for the wicked.
It
No
happens.
kidding. I'm working Christmas Day, 5 hours,
Ouch.
and there's no buses.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. I don't even know if it's double pay or whatever the fuck you call it.
Oh yeah, most places offer holiday overtime, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, mine does, but I work for I work for a big company which wants to incentivize you, so I don't know.
Yeah, Sky has a proper job. Not like us on the ground working plebs.
Kidding me? I literally work with garbage. At least I used to.
That could be big money though, depending on the job. It's a very underappreciated but very important task. The second people stop removing filth from the civilization, everyone notices.
Well, I have found a few nifty little treasures here and there. Actually found an old, a super old Playboy once.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, vintage.
That's,
Yeah.
That's like that Red versus Blue. That the RT podcast discussion about like forest porn, which is like why is there this high number of people with stories about finding like a magazine in the woods or whatever? Like that happened to me too. I mean, my friends just in this back wooded area between sides of the country, and we found a Hustler magazine just sitting randomly in the forest.
I keep hearing that kind of thing, but it has never happened to me. I don't understand all these people taking their mags into the forest and then just leaving them behind.
Yeah, that's disgusting. We, of course, didn't touch it because, who knows what happened with the magazine before then. But, yeah, that was gross.
Maybe that's where the magazines come from.
Yeah, they grow off the Hustler bush.
I did actually get something kind of cool. It was from an old neighbor friend. He was actually in World War II, but he actually has a big frame with some old Japanese money in it. And one particular
very
barrel
good.
actually has a bullet hole through it where a American sniper was actually dueling with another Japanese sniper and actually got him right through the wallet.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I still got it.
Yeah, there's some crazy stories from snipers in the World Wars. I know there was that famous Finnish sniper that held off the Russians during the Winter War. That was like really famous.
Yeah.
That like sounds like a nightmare anyway, to like fight in the middle of like tundra in that northern, like, I'm not sure what it's called, but the connection point between Finland and Russia. Like, no.
Oh yeah, is that the Bering Strait? Is that what it's called?
That's Alaska and Russia, so I don't know about Finland, but it's like
I don't know. My favorite sniper story is, I think, the one from Vietnam where a guy shoots down the scope of another sniper.
Yeah, and
Oh,
actually they
really?
recreated that
Dang.
for.
Yeah.
They actually recreated that stunt from in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, wasn't there was something like that with the Crimean War too, right? Where they found two bullets that had like interlocked with each other, like they caught each other midair.
I think that was American Civil War.
Oh,
That
that
one.
could have been.
Maybe.
The
There's probably
lead
more than
bullets
one.
fused together.
Yeah, there's a lot of bullets.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a customer.
No problem. So, anything else fun been going on with you, Oakheart? I know people always clamor for you when you arrive.
I have no idea why. I don't know why I'm popular.
They're all fans of the engineer. That's why.
Best episode. Oh, bloody hell. I have more subscribers than the studio does, which I'm really confused about.
She knows her value.
Sky, I've just hit 5,000.
Did you really? Oh my gosh. You are rocketing.
I've not uploaded in a month. And I'm still gaining subscribers. What do I do?
Fantastic. You gotta get hooked up with Channel Frederator or one of those places that gives you viewers money.
I'm partnered with Channel Federator.
Okay, good. You're making some money. I got another check recently, which was really great because I needed it. I'm in the middle of paying off my credit card from when I was living in the frickin' Bay Area. Still.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So no, I love winter. I finally got my house decorated now that I have a house rather than living in apartments. Since I'm not moving again for a while, so I'm like setting roots by buying holiday decorations.
Cool.
Just
we got
right.
ours all decorated and set up. We're going to actually decorate the tree tonight.
Nice.
I've had the same Christmas tree for nearly 30 years.
Nice.
Wow. It must be one hard tree.
Oh, yeah.
I assume it's plastic, unless you guys have like a preserved like something or other.
Magic tree.
Yes. Well, it is Ireland, so it could be. This is a lot of Celtic magic there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I live in a city, and it's pretty much half forest with all the trees lining the roads.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do you know what part of Ireland that one island that's like the Last Jedi island is from? I'm pretty sure
It's not an island at all. That took place. Where was it? In the Giant's Causeway.
Oh.
That's about an hour's drive away from me.
Oh wow.
Oh, neat.
It's one of our natural heritage sites.
So is it like a peninsula then?
No, it's that particular island is just off the coast of a series of varying leveled volcanic rocks, like pillars that have formed naturally.
Ah.
And there's a whole legend around them that the causeway was built by a giant trying to get over to Scotland to kill his enemy. so he threw rocks in the water.
Nice.
I got thinking outside the box.
You got to keep those Scots under control.
Yeah.
That's what Luke Skywalker's been doing the whole time, trying to fight off the giant.
It's a... Oh my gosh, that's great.
Awesome.
But he killed the giant before he finished the causeway, so now he's stuck on a little island.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, I did not think that through.
That was the only other thing about that is all the dang freaking porgs on like everywhere in the movie. Like they really should have just gotten a like watermark and just watermarked one of those damn things in the corner and left it there the whole movie. It would have been functionally indifferent than what they already did.
Sorry, what's a porg? This must be one.
It's the little like crazy-eyed penguin thing from Star Wars, the new one.
Oh, those old things.
It's like
Oh,
it's the worst
the thing
of-
that's been popping up on social media a lot.
Yes, that thing. It's like the worst combination of Disney cutesy animal sidekick and Ewoks. It's so much worse than Ewoks. I think that's what this whole sequel trilogy is going to show, is that everyone needs to apologize to George Lucas for the prequels because, yeah.
So since it's now owned by Disney, does that make Leia a Disney princess?
It does.
Oh my god, you really had to go there, didn't you?
Yes, yes, I did.
Disney is literally
Oh my
buying everything in media, which is very unsettling because I already hated Disney before that. So
Before too long, everything will be owned by Disney and Coca-Cola.
yeah, pretty much, and they'll be in some kind of weird partnership. That's essentially how it is here, where like all the like movie theaters like are either owned by Coca-Cola or owned by Pepsi, more or less, and it's just like that's how everything is falling these days, one side or another of the cola empires.
Well, I gotta say, Coke does go well with rum. Had that last night.
It used to have cocaine. That's when it was good drink, but now it's just cola.
The late 1980s, Coca-Cola's ratio was 2 to 5% of cocaine content. That's why he got banned in the early 1990s.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
God, Coke Classic was so disappointing.
Yeah,
That's
because
why
it's not
Coke-
classic. It's obviously they changed the recipe after New Coke as a way to like essentially put the slip into the public.
Exactly.
That's why Coca-Cola is called Coke, because it is short for cocaine drink,
Yes.
Coca-Cola.
And it was the guy was like a medicine guy too. Like it was sort of
He was like an amateur chemist, wasn't he?
yeah, something like
Something
that.
like that.
I
Pemberton
think so.
down there
I
in
remember
Atlanta.
watching a TV special on him once. Or on Coca-Cola, I mean.
The best thing in America is how there's a whole section of the country, like the whole deep south, that call all sodas Cokes. So every Pepsi drink and non-Coca-Cola drink gets called a Coke, which must be insanely frustrating.
Free promotion.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's pretty much the same over here. We call every fizzy drink Coke.
That's yeah. My parents are both from the Midwest, so they call them like pops sometimes. They still revert back to that. Whereas we say soda in very specific places. Apparently just California and the Northeast, like New England, we call it sodas.
I still don't get why you call chocolate bars candy bars. That's a different thing altogether.
They're not made of candy.
Yes,
We're crazy.
I understand.
That's all I can
the
say.
difference.
We America, we are crazy.
know
The
that,
candy
but
phylum
still.
has spread out so much over the last decades that you can't even keep track of it all. It's like you literally have to be some kind of anthropologist to have all these things categorized.
Yeah, no kidding.
I saw a chart once about like different chocolate candies about like, okay, does it have nougat? And then it's got like all the Venn diagrams with like Three Musketeers and Milky Way and stuff, and it just shows what all the common additives are on all the different candy bars, which is pretty funny.
I'm probably going to regret that, but hey ho.
Well, I know
You're
my mom
talking
lived in-
about American chocolate now, aren't you?
Well, I mean, that's my point of reference. I mean, you may go on whatever Euro-based candies. I know of like Toblerone, and that's about it.
Belgian and Swiss chocolate are the best in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I know my mom grew up with a very distinct chocolate taste because she lived over in England for a few years when my grandfather was over at the Air Force Base. So she knew like Ghirardelli and all those really good, high-priced chocolates.
Lindor are the best chocolates.
Ooh, yes, that I can agree with. Those Lindors are great.
Yeah.
Lindor, hey.
It's
Lindor is
it's the soft,
best.
liquidy chocolate in the middle. That's the center you
So
got to get to.
good.
Yeah.
Any games or movies I am looking forward to? No. Not really.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the new media is pretty dry right now.
I've been told of a game called Doki Doki Literature Club, which I heard is an anime interactive game with a major twist because it's actually a horror game that I'm going to
Do
be
not
looking
play
into.
if you're easily disturbed.
What?
Do not play if you're easily disturbed.
I
It'll lose you into a false sense of security.
yeah, I like them kind of games. I get a kick out of them. I like them. What game did I recently play that had a major twist? Hide and Seek, Dorothy's Story. It's a play on the game called Mad Father, and you basically control this little girl, and by the end of it, you find out she's dead, and she's playing a final game with the with a demon to get back to her family. So yeah, that's fun.
The good times, very relatable.
Fair enough.
That's also like the what is it, the little like yellow raincoat girl on the ship, the Little Nightmares or whatever. That was freaky.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cute. I like her. Also a game called We Happy Few. That's actually set in London. An English game for once. That's more of a psychological game than anything else.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the full release of it because I want to know what the heck like the story is. That I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, from my gist is it portrays real life, but everyone takes this pill to see an illusion of the world where everyone's happy, there's nothing wrong, and you don't want to be a part of that. So you falsify on taking the pill, pretend to join in with everyone's happy and laughter. But yeah, I just don't want to pay 20 odd quid for a game because I'm cheap.
And it's not even finished yet, so it's like you want to wait for the full game rather than the Steam early release.
Right.
And
I do not.
I remember the promotional videos from like last year, I think, where they have like a TV character named Uncle Jack or something, and so they made like a whole bunch of little 5-minute videos with him that I thought were really a neat way of setting up the plot and the story. So I watched through those ones.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say for the games I'm looking forward to. As for movies, no, not really. Although I do want to watch Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day.
That movie did look kind of interesting.
That sounds like a comedic, like slasher horror movie.
That's essentially what it is. You've got this girl on a loop of her birthday, and the only way to pass it is to find out who her killer is.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Thank you, Samuel. Fuck. Is it home time yet? Nope, I've got 2 hours.
The last slasher comedy I remember was the what was it called? The Belko Experiment, where the company locks all these people inside a building and then tells them to kill each other, and it's working your way down to see who is the last one alive. That was really fun. It was like very Portal-esque.
Okay.
Yeah. It's worth a watch if anyone's curious. You can check out the trailer online.
I think the last slasher comedy I watched was, God, what was it called? The Babysitter on Netflix.
I never heard of that one.
It's basically a kind of young teenage kid still has a babysitter, which really bugs him because he's a young teenager. The babysitter, however, is like his best friend. She's the perfect babysitter. She makes pizza, plays games with him, all that stuff. But he wakes up in the middle of the night and discovers she's the leader of a satanic cult.
Oh my
and
god!
just murders a guy in his living room. And then when they find out he knows, they obviously try to kill him.
Oh.
And then the rest of the movie is him killing them before they can kill him.
That sounds like an awesome movie.
That does sound
It is hilarious.
PM me the name of that one, please.
A babysitter.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
It was a surprise find, but I really loved it.
Yeah, Netflix has a few hidden gems like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got Netflix. I'll have to look it up.
I guess
Pure
that's why
goofy
they call
fun.
it Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
Killer and die.
I don't know. Now is the season for Netflix and cuddle. It's nice and cold outside. I got a nice natural gas fireplace I've been cooking on every night.
Netflix chiller. Next, flick chiller. Aha! Oh my god.
Yeah, it is funny though with the yeah, there really aren't too many movies I'm looking forward to either. In the Star Wars previews, they had Avengers Infinity War, so I guess kind of that one I'm interested in, but at the same time, I don't know, not nearly as much as I was for Avengers or Civil War. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's good.
I've kind of been hyped for this, the whole Infinity Wars thing ever since Iron Man, but I don't know, the wonder around it has faded off in the last 10 odd years.
Yeah, it's because it's literally been 10 years since they started.
Yeah. I guess I'm looking forward to the new Black Panther movie next year.
Oh yeah, that's coming out in February or something.
Yeah.
Because Marvel has like 3 movies a year now.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, when I think Marvel, the first movie I'm like looking forward to, like I want to see, is Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought the Ant-Man movie was fantastic, and I want to see more of him and Wasp's daughter.
When I was a kid, Ant-Man was my favorite superhero. I was so hyped when he finally got his own movie.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. You had Mr. Pym, and in the original Avengers comics, I guess, it was actually Pym that built the, not the Iron Man suit, but something else.
Ultron.
Yes, that was it, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Pym was a founding member of the Avengers, and he built Ultron.
But, you know, what's his name brings in the, he brings in all the people to the seat, so they retconned it and made Iron Man build Ultron.
Yeah. He took our jobs.
Took our job.
Yeah.
I'm also waiting for Blade Runner to come to Blu-ray. I want to get that. That was fun.
New movie? I still haven't seen that.
I thought it was good. I'd seen the original more or less, but it's a little bit too oddly paced for me. This one was a little bit better. It has like a stronger arc for the main guy, and the pacing, it's like it's just right. It's long enough that you really soak up all the atmosphere, but it doesn't hang beyond your interest, or at least my interest. So
Have to check it out sometime.
yeah.
Yeah, but guys, is your interest quite small, to be fair?
I have a very refined taste of cinema and plot lines. Refined like a fine rocket fuel.
I don't know. Nothing really to look forward to cinematically these days, is there?
Yeah,
No.
I'm mostly working on more of my own plots and stories. That's what I've been thinking about more than anything.
Have you been writing secret fanfics again there, Sky?
No, I mean, half of it is studio stuff, and then the other half are essentially a whole bunch of plot ideas I have for like IRL novels, like normal stories that I'd like to eventually start publishing at some point.
I can get you onto a website where you can publish them if you wish, called Archive for Our Own. They've stopped invitations for the physical website, but people who are already members can still send out invitations to people.
Oh, cool.
As long as you don't fill it with crap, then I won't get in trouble.
Yeah, it's not fanfiction.net. No, I'm hoping. I know on Amazon you can self-publish sometimes, and so I'm gonna see if I can pursue that avenue and get it out on like the Kindles and crap. And then it's easy because if I, then can do an audiobook and just do it myself. That's freaking easy.
Yeah, I'd suggest doing it on Archive for Our Own first, so then you can see what people like, and if it's a hit on there, then yeah, go for Amazon. It'll save you money.
Yeah, because that was long-term my whole gambit with confessions and horror stories is refining my craft before trying real novels and stuff.
Yeah. James, I might be able to get James on there as well, and he can post his text-based stories on there as well. Or you can actually start a text-based version of EAST Corp.
Oh my gosh.
I have not sorted that out.
Yeah, I could always do that, change a few names and places, and publish Confessions as some original thing.
Confessions is an original thing, you idiot.
I know. It's tricky. I another thing to hate Disney for is Disney passing all these crazy copyright laws. If Guy Benson and the BBC can make oodles off of Sherlock, then anyone should be able to write other stories like that too and get money. It's ridiculous things that are still locked behind like private corporate doors.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the world.
Which is really, really ironic considering that most of Disney's, like, seminal, like, foundational properties and animated movies are all based on totally open domain fairy tales that have existed for hundreds of years and they just reaped tremendous profits off of. So every once in a while, I do like seeing like one of those fairy tales told by someone else, and I'm like, good, Disney can't put a lock and key on like a giant section of culture. That's BS.
Yeah, Disney are glorified fanfickers.
Yeah, I mean, and the one, the original property, the whole cast of Disney, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck characters, they are kept under such tight copyright controls and Disney's gigantic lobby on Congress to extend U.S. copyright laws at the very least. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's really getting ridiculous.
Yep.
Actually, I remember, years ago in like the 1990s, Nickelodeon actually did somewhat old version anime of the old fairy tales.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of Western sort of fairy tales mixed into a whole wide range of anime because of the great cultural exchange that happened after 1946. Something happened before that, and no, I think that's one of the reasons anime is so huge in the Western world and like European countries is because it's this interesting fusion of a lot of old fairy tales and things mixed in with a lot of like Japanese historical and cultural things, and it's a pretty animation too. That's the other thing is I'm so damn sick of the Pixar Frozen 3D animation crap. I want some classic animation again. I look back recently, stuff like Princess and the Frog and Prince of Egypt and things like that, and I'm like, we got to bring that back. And really, anime is the only like thing like maintaining that flame.
What wasn't the Princess and the Frog the last 2D thing Disney ever did?
It was. The thing that followed it was Tangled, which was very successful, so they're like, okay, we're committing. And then what do? They pull another Hans Christian Andersen tale out and be like, this is our new original property. It sure is, Disney. It sure is.
In fairness, from what I understand, they had actually been working on that for decades.
I've heard that too. Yeah, like from Disney himself when he was alive, that was on his short
Yeah.
list.
There is so much speculation about Walt Disney himself.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. It's yeah.
Speculation involving that he had ties with Hitler, ties with the Illuminati, ties with dark arts. So
Obviously.
ridiculous.
That's how all his money got made.
Yeah.
Illuminati funded Hitler dark arts.
There's like
I don't know,
backwards
his
messaging.
life would make an interesting movie.
Yeah, I know they what was it? Tom Hanks did that one movie about it was very specifically around Mary Poppins and how Disney had to like essentially woo the author to let him make the movie with some animation, which she was viscerally against.
Yeah, she was very disappointed with the movie and kind of disowned it, didn't she?
Yeah, it was a fascinating story. I didn't know she like about her life or anything like that being so controversial. I thought it was just some old book that got turned into a, early Disney movie.
Yeah. Oh.
I should probably preface it in that I never liked Mary Poppins growing up, so I have no stake in it one way or the other per se.
Oh, actually, this reminded me of a funny scene from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, that was good. The Guardians movies have been strong.
That's another one I haven't seen, the second Guardians movie.
I thought it was good. I thought it was
I
at
enjoyed
least
it.
as good as the first one.
I have heard good things.
I know Thor Ragnarok was a little bit divisive. Some people really seemed to like the direction they took. I wasn't so much. I liked the first Thor and bits of the Dark World better than Ragnarok.
Yeah, they're kind of
So-
going for the whole 80s thing with Ragnarok.
I guess my problem was they didn't go full 80s. It was like a little splash, like just a little bit of like really light like baby synth and then some extra colors and like Guardians of the Galaxy-esque like color palette, but beyond that it was just like it was just like a candy coating essentially.
Mm.
Yeah, if you're gonna go 80s, go full 80s.
Exactly. Which we're almost getting beyond now. It seems like a lot of movies and stuff that are doing that kind of thing. Now they're going into 90s, and now we've hit the point where 90s are like super retro, which freaks me out a little bit.
90s are not retro. They were the better part of my life.
They were, yeah. That was the last time the world was good. Y2K happened and we all got pulled into a simulation.
Yeah. Matrix has us now.
Yeah, it's I have no mouth and I must scream, but we haven't all gotten killed off yet.
I thought you just said civilization, and it's like no one's civil these days.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Fair enough.
But at least I have my own pirate colony that I'm going to set up in the Mojave Desert, because we totally have a lot of wasteland that we can retreat to here.
Oh, yeah.
This is true. Slightly worrying, but again, true.
Gotta get my my Volkswagen Beetle with a whole bunch of spikes and stuff finished.
Skybolt, the first raider.
Oh my gosh. The Fury Road is such a hallmark of movies. I still love that so much. Just everything fell into place so beautifully.
Yeah, it was definitely a good successor to the Mad Max series.
Yeah, and I liked all the movies, of course. It's a really interesting series. It's very almost fairy tale like the way it follows him through the wasteland.
Absolutely. You gotta love the Mad Max aesthetic. It's so unique.
And it's influenced so much of modern dystopian storytelling, especially Fallout.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there was a Easter egg. I think it was like the first Fallout that you could actually find Mad Max's jacket and shotgun.
Neat.
One of the places.
And his dog.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's
the
the information for dog meat.
You find his dog, and the only way the dog will trust you is if you're wearing Max's jacket.
Yeah. No, it's pretty great. What did I get this year? This year, honestly, it's been about going back to some classical animes too. Like I got the Big O box set for my birthday a few months ago, and then Cowboy Bebop with the dub, because I prefer dubs if they were somewhat decent. I'm not going to read subtitles if I can help it.
Yeah.
Big O wasn't anime, was it? I think it was a Western thing modeled after anime. It was like the same vein as Avatar.
Could be. I don't know. I know.
I don't know.
What's his name? The Steven, famous voice actor, played the main guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was an anime though. I just remember it airing on Adult Swim when I was young, so that nostalgic goodness. So I had to go buy the series box set.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
And I've heard a recent I heard a friend of mine talking about Evangelion recently too, and now I'm curious because I've never seen any of that, and I'm like, well, crap, maybe I got to track down episode 1 at the very least, see if it's.
Go for the 3 movies that have been recently made, because the originals, holy cow, are they disturbing at times, especially the 2 movies.
Oh, I love that shit. It's disturbing, the better.
Well, just disturbing, what the F did I just watch? Sort of thing at times.
Yeah. It was really funny, too, because my friend also went into the whole, I guess, which waifu is better discussion between the redheaded chick and the blue-haired girl, and, yeah, that was really fascinating to watch. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I really can't think maybe the Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling, whatever the little modern TV movie take. That'll be fun because the Hey Arnold movie finally came out a few weeks ago, and that I finally watched.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was over Thanksgiving, I guess, and I just bought it on Amazon for $4, and yeah, it was nice to see an end to that. Just like with Samurai Jack, a little end point to these series I watched growing up, and it's like, okay, finally, someone else who grew up with them, they forced the studio to follow through and give the people money to finish the damn series.
One they need to finish is Jericho. I love that TV series.
Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about that. I think it's on Netflix, too.
Yeah, I saw it on there, and I'm like, okay, I want to rewatch it, because, I loved that series. It was almost Fallout-ish, but not completely Fallout.
Yeah, it's set a post-apocalyptic Texas, I think, right?
I think more like Alabama or something, or oh darn, I have to go back and watch it again.
You can do a lot with Alabama. A lot of people don't realize it, but Alabama has one of the largest U.S. Army installations ever in freaking Redstone Arsenal, which is first off, it's an arsenal, so it's cranking out ammunition all the time. It's also one of the major bases for the tank command, so it's full of tanks, and it's also the Army Missile Command. So literally, the entire city of Huntsville is essentially a federal military city. It's always fun to watch because my parents almost ended up working there, so I was almost an Alabama boy. That was back in the 80s. It was literally there or California or Florida, all 3 for different government jobs, and they ended up here, so I'm California. Anyway, yeah, so this was just a sort of random podcast. So, like, any other discussions people wanted to bring up or talk about?
Ugh, not that I can think of.
Not that I can think of either.
I have to get around to finishing our holiday special at some point here. Everyone else is done with their parts, so I gotta finish mine sometime this week.
You have a holiday special?
We have a holiday special coming out in the next week or so. It's gonna be before Christmas, so you guys will see it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. First time hearing of it.
Yes, we've been keeping it under tight lock and key.
I look at me, my ass. You just announced it on a fucking podcast.
That's the teaser. That's so they know to watch out. They should be checking our channel daily for new things and just watching our videos as much as possible. Give us the sweet views money because we make we're Frederator too.
Sweet.
Share it with your friends.
No, you were on Frederator.
We need to outpace Oakheart again. I don't know how her channel is so individually successful. We got to beat that.
Try looking at my channel from time to time, then you probably figure out why.
But that would ruin the mystery.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You got time to bleed. Yeah, time to duck.
Oh, one other interesting thing in our teaser for our big Star Wars fight is the so my disappointment with the sequel series has led me to go back in time and I got the audiobook for the first Timothy Zahn Star Wars book, and I'm going to start listening through the I guess it's Legends now, but the extended universe like after the Star Wars movies books.
Those are classics. I will consider them more canon than the new movies.
Yeah, and I'm about to do the same, because I had a friend growing up who was an absolute junkie for all the Timothy Zahn and everything books. So I want to go through that whole section, like everything with their families and the Yuzhan Vong, and yeah, just, enjoy actual storytelling rather than, corporate schnilling. So are you guys have holiday plans except for work, or are you like working nonstop the whole weekend?
I did. I actually went and saw my dad last night. We went to Yamatani's for dinner. That's kind of where I had my drink.
Nice.
Yeah, we did exchange gifts and stuff. Our usual stuff.
I don't know. My one and only day off will be Christmas Day, so I'll probably spend most of it sleeping.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I finish college on the 22nd of December.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I also graduated in the wintertime.
It's only breaking up for Christmas, and I'm working Christmas Day. I'm doing some covering shifts, handing in my notice at one of my jobs because I kind of fucking hate it. And I'm going out New Year's, hopefully.
Nice.
New Year's is always a totally miscellaneous holiday for me, where it's like every single year is something different and kind of random. So it's like occasionally there's been like a big New Year's party I've gone to. Those are usually my favorites, but like more often than not, it's just like the family go out for dinner somewhere and then we kind of watch the New Year's ball drop. But now none of us have cable, so I'm not even sure if we'll do that unless we do it on like YouTube or something. I don't know. It's stupid anyway. I hate most of those productions. They're very old Hollywood. We do have a question in the chat because they want to keep the podcast going about what is everyone's favorite video game soundtrack?
Oh.
Undertale, Halo, and what's the third one?
We probably
Final
have to
Fantasy.
say. What'd you say?
Final Fantasy, Halo, and Undertale are my three favourite soundtracks for them games.
Nice.
I guess.
I would have to say Final Fantasy 15, Undertale and the Assassin's Creed's, all their series soundtracks. I like instrument stuff.
I don't know. I'm not so big a gamer that I would have a wide spectrum of experience, so I'm probably going to have to go Fallout 3.
There you go. Yeah, I was about to say Fallout in the broad sense, just to cover the movie, the studio. We'd get in trouble if we didn't say it.
I should have put that on the list too.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, that would definitely be, for me, is the Fallout games, the Halo games, Destiny, just because it's like the same guys who did the old Halo stuff, and Mass Effect. Mass Effect has some really good soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very moody.
Oh, yeah, very moody. Why the hell did EA have to kill it?
Yeah, it's, EA is very problematic. It's just like the new Battlefront game, which is just a hollow shell of what the good Battlefront games were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, Battlefront 2 back in the day, that was my jam. I played that for years in middle school and early high school with friends. That was great.
Yeah.
Is someone breaking up?
I'm hearing a little bit of static, yeah.
No idea.
Not sure. Might be on my end. I'm not sure.
It is. It's you.
We have another in the chat saying Metroid Prime and Nier Automata. See, I'm no longer a Nintendo gamer, so I don't know much about the modern soundtracks. So, yeah, that's those are probably great, but I don't have a reference point.
I don't know.
I have Nier, but I still need to play it. It's on PS4.
I really barely think of myself as a gamer anymore, because really it's just Fallout. Like, I don't really even play Halo that much. I just compulsively buy it when it comes out because I'm a fanboy, even though the new Halo games are kind of meh. But, yeah, Fallout's the good shit. I'm playing a Fallout 4 modded playthrough right now where I just got some fresh batch of mods to extend my gameplay even more so.
Nice.
Of course, this is just plain mods, because I was so worried that everything is, funneled into the stupid creative... I almost said creative companies. The stupid creative...
The Creation Club?
Creation Club. And I'm like, I'm not paying for mods. And so I went through the normal mod thing on the Xbox One, and luckily it was still there, so I just got some normal mods, and that was that. I didn't have to pay any Bethesda bucks.
The Creation Club's terrible in any case. I mean, the choice is so limited. Just stick with the regular stuff.
Yeah, until they shut it down, which is what they're trying to do.
I don't know. Right now I'm doing a full Raider playthrough, which
Ooh.
is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to finally finish Nuka World at some point, but my problem was that no matter what companion I had with me, they would get mad at the decisions I made and would leave, so...
Which is why you stick with Porter Gage.
So I am going with the so I got a mod that reverses the polarity. So anytime you do something they should that they would hate, they like it instead. But apparently that still has limitations. Like if you get it down to 0, it won't reverse. So Curie left me and I had to restart the game and. Yeah, I don't know. The first time I played it, I was doing the Porter Gauge, okay, talk to the people and make a deal, and whatever the bloodthirsty sickos were, they're like, we want you to do this, and I'm like, okay, I want to just advance the story, and yeah, wouldn't let me. She kept leaving, so I don't know what to do.
When do you ever know what to do?
And no, it's mostly fly-by-wire, absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of how Fallout is.
Mostly I just hold up a ripper and run at things.
There you go.
You just
I need
get
to
full
the
work.
sniper. Don't pull out sniper with me.
No, I've been collecting Raider armor. I've got 9 whole sets of Raider power armor.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
I'm determined to have 1 power armored Raider in every one of my settlements.
Yeah.
I've got like my Raider display, like my display in one of the castle hallways on both sides. That's pretty fun.
Nice.
But yeah, well, I might go get some lunch here soon, and yeah, well, we will hopefully have another podcast around Christmas or the holidays, like next week or in the next couple of days. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll have some other people with us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this wasn't bad for a wee short one.
Yeah, exactly. I like the podcasts that have no determined, like, you know. I like them random. I like them just to fill whatever space they need to fill.
Yeah.
Well, nice chatting with everyone.
Yeah, same here.
Alrighty, yeah, you guys have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later.
Yep. See you, Skybolt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.